recording has been started.
So last we left off on a bit of a cliffhanger, if you could call it such. We find ourselves back in that same room, no time having passed, with Ryunosuke and Gina, who, the latter of which had given some information about an old friend of Iris and Ryunosuke, claiming that she wasn't herself, claiming that she looked different, acted different, wasn't her. And the last thing she said was, well, her eyes were a bit, white as gold, I guess you could say. Does that mean anything to you?
Are we back into roleplay?
Yes.
Okay.
Out of character, absolutely none of that sounded like English, so...
That means they did Cockney, right? But not English.
Try again, Chief.
I mean, I followed it all completely, so... Are you okay, Cherry?
I will give everyone a friendly reminder that I do have audio processing issues.
Well, then, translation would be preferred after the original dialogue.
Well, not always, just... Sometimes sometimes the accent comes out and it's just like, I recognize some of those words. I remember none of them.
She said that, well, her eyes were a whitish gold. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah.
Now, as I recall... Oh wait, no, I remember where we, finally left off. We left off when we needed to sleep. So Gina had
Really?
left off.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, because we had literally just left off on that.
Okay.
What do you want, Patches?
So,
To scream, okay.
well, she's a cat, so...
Yeah, I know.
So, here's how I'll fix that.
Okay.
You all head to your different areas. Some of you to a proposed charity building that Gina had given the directions to you for. Others that are staying here with Ryunosuke, and others are headed to a local lodging on Baker Street. Though not the finest accommodations that you're used to, being the era that it's in, you do find yourself comfortable. Even the ones of you staying at the charity are surprised to find that it's not as run down as perhaps you were led to believe. And the next day comes around, and the first thing that you notice is how dreary it looks outside. Not in the sense that it's cloudy, even though it's starting to become cloudy, but because of the fact that you all are so used to waking up so early, you wake up just before the knocking at each of your doors happens. In sequence, it starts at the bottom of the street and goes down 1 block, 2, then 3. And then all you hear on the door when everyone else is asleep, aside from you, is essentially a wake-up call from a person.
Now, are they saying anything?
Aside from the very typical, time, because they have a watch, which you can... For those of you with a high enough perception of over 20 and over,
Damn.
you would be able to hear the tapping at the door of someone tapping against glass and whatnot, of something expensive in this day and age. And they are checking the time and they read it out before moving on. And of all of you, who do you think wakes up earliest currently here?
Probably Arthur, because of his least comfortable accommodations.
Yeah, it'd be a tie between Arthur and Tsubasa, honestly.
So it's up to you guys.
Probably Arthur.
I mean,
Oh.
it's either that or rock, paper, scissors. We're going to settle this like adults!
Arthur, you notice with your passive perception that it is dreary outside and probably a little on the colder side, even for it being the end of winter. And it is calm outside for the time being, and though you are currently inside the building, thus without your flat cap, you are finding yourself a little chillier than you're anticipating. And you realize kind of quickly that there's a storm brewing. Not necessarily a lightning or thunderstorm, but just there's rain on the horizon.
Awesome.
What is the first thing you do?
What was that last bit?
There is rain on the horizon.
Oh, okay.
It's attributing to the slightly deeper chill.
Right. So it's 3 in the morning.
Knockers normally come around like you recognize this time of day because you are often woken up by Lex around this time of day. It's around 6 in the morning.
Jesus,
Um,
Oh,
Ren keeps dying.
yeah, this is the third time now.
Excuse me, Discord.
I don't
Anyway.
think your Discord is happy with you today.
No, not at all. It's also because my internet has been shit today. But you know that it is 6 o'clock in the morning. There's a rainstorm on the horizon and it is colder than usual.
place.
Say again?
It's. I guess you'll go walk around the town, see if you find any information, like gossip or something about what someone might have seen during the night.
Do you meet up with anybody first?
Should. But who?
You've got 3
Probably-
whole options.
Probably Iris. That's probably my best bet.
Okay.
So you would be headed back to Ryunosuke's place.
Yes.
Or rather, the place he's staying at.
221B, let's go.
So, Iris, where are you currently holed up
So,
in this apartment?
Iris took her room back for the time being and is essentially currently starting to get organized for the day. She's not fully there yet. She's working on it.
Just fixing everything.
Take your time.
Yeah. We're not going anywhere.
Nope.
At least not right now.
I think she sort of wakes up and starts making tea. Oh my god, of course she would.
She's back home. Of course she is. Go ahead and move her.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this. Sorry. Also drawing at the moment, so.
Do you want me to move Iris to the kitchen?
Yeah, that would be nice. I forgot I had to do that. My apologies.
So,
Yeah, okay.
do you want to describe what she's doing?
Yeah, Iris is currently in the kitchen taking the leaves she obtained from the herb garden on the windowsill, which was miraculously still going.
Miraculous, if only because it's only been a week or two since the incidences.
Oh, right. Of course. But yeah, she takes some leaves and she puts them in to steep. Like she's basically making tea bags right now. And well, no, sorry, not tea bag. She has made a tea bag and she is currently brewing it. So you can probably hear her humming, Arthur, as she works.
You can hear her humming because she is so close to the door. As Arthur, you approached that same door that you had kind of stuck away from. And with your passive perception, you knew people had eyes on you as someone who is both new and a new beggar of a child. So you have definitely earned some eyes on you, though not for your usual reasons. And you approach the door. Do you knock or you walk in? So, Iris,
Hi.
even with you being focused on making tea in this more proper way that you have become accustomed to now, whether by muscle memory or otherwise, you hear the soft, then slightly harder knocking at the door. You don't know who would be at 6 o'clock in the morning, then.
Oh, yeah. Iris walks over to the door. My tablet is fucking up, so I don't have to worry about it. It's just like creaks the door open. Mrs. Hudson? Is that? Oh, hello, Artie.
Hey, would it be all right if we talked inside?
Oh, yes, of course. She opens the door and lets him in.
You're free to move your tokens as you see fit.
She's going to stand in the middle of the. Well, she's going to go quickly to the kettle and grab it to put pork teacups into. Fancy a cuppa?
No, I'm fine.
All right, more for me and Bruno then. And she pours herself a cup. I made my own blend. It's really quite good. It helps alleviate fatigue.
Sounds very interesting. I'm just here to say I'm gonna go see if there's any gossip of if anyone might know what. I've seen something last night. Who knows? Or the last couple nights. I was wondering if you know any place that high
High gossip.
Yeah.
Well, there are a couple of options for you. You can go to Briar Road. The Garadebs love to gossip. Well, John does. Don't know about Joan. She's probably still in prison. Anyway, there's also, you'll get a lot of information at pawn shops, but the one on Baker Street's closed. And you might have some luck finding Gina in the East End, if she's there. And that's the real question.
Okay.
Oh, but before you go,
Hmm?
and she goes and rummages in a couple of cabinets, looking for things. Comes back. I brought you some biscuits.
Yep.
You should take some, just in case things get... Well, you haven't had breakfast yet, have you?
No, it came straight here.
Well, then take these. They'll help for when you get hangry. Because I know you will.
I appreciate it. Also, what was that thing with my name last night?
Oh, yes, that. She sort of taps her fingers together in the... I have an emoji for this. It's like this, but more nervous.
People shot?
She taps her fingers together like, well, your name is almost completely shared with King Arthur of England's fame and myth.
How close?
It's Draco instead of dragon. The most awkward smile of all time.
Huh. What do you think the chances of that are? You think that's just a coincidence?
Probably just a coincidence, but it's best to introduce yourself as just Arthur. That's far less suspicious. Arthur is a common name. Pendraco is not.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, I might be being too loud. Poor Runo needs his rest. You're better off getting most gossip at night, but if you want to hunt this morning, I don't see why not. I'll also be doing the same.
Yeah, gotta keep myself busy.
Yes, of course. Oh, if you see anyone... If you see anyone... Hold on, I'm thinking. I know there's a character I'm thinking about. Right, okay. If you see any crime scenes, probably best to steer clear of them. If a coroner is on the scene, she'll catch you immediately.
Okay,
So be-
I'll heed those words.
Yeah, be on the lookout for a woman with a plague doctor mask.
Thank you for the biscuits and the advice.
Of course.
I'll be heading out now.
Good luck. And she gives him like 2 thumbs up.
Just waves goodbye.
Goodbye, bastard.
On your way out, Arthur, you do hear the telling trait of someone having fallen out of bed.
Iris rushing to the door. Aruna, are you alright?
Just,
Yes.
No.
No, you aren't. Come on, get up. She helps him up.
And as Arthur leaves, on that note, Iris, what do you
Hi.
do?
Okay. So this is for the general, like, the morning. essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I remember my notes, she is going to be venturing out as well to look for information, both on Susato and on basically general goings on, because there appears to be like hustle and bustle that she is unfamiliar with. So I think her order of business is getting word on the street vibes as she goes to the prosecutor's office, checking in with you-know-who, sort of getting a vibe for how he's doing, and then...
No. We should probably start there.
Yeah. She will also wake up Tsubasa and Helia if they're not, like, check in with Tsubasa and Helia to see what they're, like, gonna get up to. But that's probably after visiting you-know-who.
Yeah. So, Iris,
That's me.
how do you approach the main office of you-know-who?
Well, as she sort of gathers her thoughts, she walks up smartly through the prosecutor's office, basically foyer, because it's a big old building, and goes right up to the receptionist and says, or the clerk, and says, "Hello, is it all right if I visit the office of Prosecutor Van Zieks?" With no stuttering that I added because I'm tired.
You get a head tilt at first. Not in, like, confusion, but as if to give you a once-over. I'm afraid Prosecutor Barak Van Zieks is not in today. Won't be in until the trial is over.
Trial?
Yes. Unfortunately, he is the one on trial.
Oh, not again. She sort of makes a face. So he'll be at the detention center then, I assume.
Yes.
Alright. Should I head over there then? Well, I don't need to ask you. My apologies. And she sort of walks away.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. She's also going to say, "Thank you very much for the help." Where's my perception? Passive perception 19. Do I need to make an active check?
No.
Okay.
Your passive perception gets you as you're turning away to walk towards the detention center. The clerk.
Actually, the prison. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I figured, but I'm bullying you a little bit. As you turn away from the clerk, the person at the front desk, you see her eyes briefly dart towards the entrance hall into the main investigator's office.
So not Scotland Yard?
No.
So.
It's one of those things of you're not sure in this moment because so much seems to have changed since you left. But there is something with either that room that hall leads to, or something doesn't seem right with your passive insight.
Okay. So, in that case, Iris doesn't quite leave the room. She sort of meanders briefly over to, like, a plant or something. And then walks straight for the room in question.
Then just wait!
Oh?
You can't go over there.
Oh, why ever not?
Because, we're doing some renovations.
Can I roll insight or do I need to?
What's your passive insight again?
19.
No, you do not. This person is through their teeth, not badly, but they're nervous.
Iris frowns. Such a shame. She almost turns to leave and then turns back. I thought the corruption was going to be weeded out.
Just a wince. You're not sure why.
I apologize, that was quite sharp. Listen. If it's anything to do with the strange goings on around here, I would like to be able to look into it. I do know my stuff.
Alright. Just... don't say I didn't warn you. And she goes back to where she was seated.
Oh boy. Oh boy, let's do it. Iris sort of peeks inside the room, not quite entering, but like knocking and then creaking open the door. Can't wait to get my ass blasted. Oh no. What room is this?
This is... I couldn't find a proper, like, Victorian style thing. But it is definitely what you recall to be the main prosecutor's office.
I can't move my token.
Unfortunate.
Somebody died here.
What'd you say?
Looks like somebody died here.
Oh no. Iris. So, did she receive an answer from the knock at the door?
No.
Okay, she's going to step inside.
Before you get more than 2 steps in, you hear something. You, even in your time in study, this is a sound you had only ever heard in recordings before it was cut short.
What?
The sudden...
Iris immediately puts her hands up in a non-threatening gesture. Easy.
And the first thing that you see as you turn to face the sound is not anything monstrous. In fact, the first thing you see...
No! No! That!
is the prosecutor himself. And then he, in his response, without looking to face you or even knowing who you are, aside from hearing your voice, goes, "Stay back. I've got this."
On it. And she sort of scoots toward this area, waiting.
And from that vantage point,
What the fuck
You-
is that?
you see a towering entity of not shadow, but blackened tar, reaching out
Okay.
from the corners of the back wall, where even the light of the sunlight is draining itself dry,
Okay.
and it is crawling over the desk.
And what do you think you're going to do, Barry? Mr. Barry?
There's a pause, his hand still outstretched, as if to keep something from getting to behind him or past him or something. He seems to be defending something. And he goes, "I suppose we'll have to figure that out."
Okay.
He takes out this odd little device that you are pretty sure you've only heard your adoptive father speak of in Pride.
Oh no.
It is an old device, one of your father's first. It is something that should not be working as long as it currently is.
Mhm.
And it's probably because it's not working that it creates something of a flashbang. As Prosecutor Barack Van Zeek's currently on trial, as far as you know, tosses that device in the direction of this entity, turns and starts to book it as it starts to go off. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Oh, yes, right. The idea of him saying that is so funny. And he would too.
Just
Iris
let's go.
slams the door shut behind her.
Iris?
Yes, it's me. Gives him a big smile.
His ever-present frown just seems to get deeper.
Yes, that's Barry for you. That was not in character. I was just saying it for fun. So would I have been able to identify it with the time I saw it?
Make a nature check.
Sounds good to me. It's an intelligence roll, I recall. Yeah. That's an 11.
You think you might know what it is. You definitely register that it is a part of something you recall studying, but you are currently a little frazzled to make the connection currently.
Okay. Haven't. Never mind. Are you alright?
Yes. I just need to get back to the prison before they understand that I'm gone. And he takes one step and collapses to one knee.
Iris just like, oh, that won't do it all. I need to check something. Don't mind me. Leave that is. Yeah, okay. So I can't target other people with Vanish, right?
Not currently.
Okay. That is a later thing?
Yeah.
Right. I'm thinking, don't mind me. Oh! Okay. I have an idea.
Yeah?
If I'm careful, I think I can cast Vortex Warp. Not with subtle spells, so Barack will know I've done it. But I will be able to get him out of the prosecutor's office without letting him, like, you know, without him being spotted by the clerk, essentially.
All right. So where do you warp him to?
Probably an alley I know is not super populated nearby. Whether or not I'm seen, well, shit, man.
So, do you cast this?
I think I'm going to discuss it with him first, but the plan is there. Iris sort of... So you need to get out quickly, yes? Without being spotted?
Yes.
I might have a way to do that. Just trust me, alright?
He levels a stare at you that you haven't seen in a long time. Like, even in your youth, when you were still heavy in your memories of this world, of your home world, it's a stare of, I trust you, not what you're about to do.
Iris nods. If you would rather not... Oh, hey, I have a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
I need to double check what this does. Oh, but it's only... never mind. Shit. This guy's self can't be used on other people. It's literally called this guy's self. Whatever. Okay. Well, if you're certain. Because she knows. Do you know of a way we could sneak out of here?
I'm sure there's a way, but I'm not in the best of conditions at the moment, I'm afraid.
What happened to you? Well, she's gonna say that while I'm going to try to recall methods of leaving that aren't directly through the front door.
Those things are trying to get rid of me. I don't know what they are.
I do, but it's best we don't talk about it in here. I'll see what I can do to help you in a minute. Can I roll history to check if I remember this?
Yes.
Okay. That's a 20, 30-20.
Is there a way out that wouldn't be noticed by the receptionist?
That is what I am asking. You can make that up for me.
You know that the windows are an obvious choice here, but then you'd have to go in and face whatever might be lurking still in the room. There is, however, if you can struggle through your memory, which doesn't require another roll, it's just me, saying you're still frazzled.
Uh-huh.
And you fidget and you fuss and you almost hiss under your breath of, you don't know why this is taking so long to remember, even if you were so young back then.
Mm.
And there is, through the dresser, a hidden passageway.
Oh! And she recalls it. There should be a way out through this.
Yes.
Through, here. And she goes to gently ease it out of the way.
You hear the, clockwork ticking of something that is less made for being a proper dresser and more decoration to hide what's behind it. And as you push it slightly out of the way, it gives and completely creaks into position out on the other side. And there is a downward spiral.
Goodness. He was prepared, wasn't he? She doesn't say who she is talking about. But it's not her dad, judging from the expression on her face. Come on now. Let's get you out of here. And she sort of eases him onto his feet.
And for once, in a way that tells you just how much he's endured in the past, probably week or so, he does allow you to help.
Fuck!
And you both walk through.
If we want to cut to other people, that's fine. I don't have
there
any
any-
preference.
Is
but,
there anything you'd like to do?
Well, I do want to question him, but I feel like that would probably take a while. It's up to you.
Fine by me.
I also think it would be a good idea to heal him a little bit. Because he seems to be in decided agony. I look at my spells. Do I really not have any healing spells?
I'm proud of you.
Shut the fuck up. Technically, I could prepare them because that's how artificers work, but I don't feel like it. I do have the Eldritch Cannon, but that one's, well, you know how that one works.
I do.
I'm thinking. Oh, you know what? She sort of weakly laughs. I do think I have a way to get you up.
What was that?
I do think I have a way to get you standing for a little bit while you recover.
If you say so. I've seen enough to last me a lifetime.
I know. Don't worry. She takes out her woodcarver's tools. Briefly, takes out like a little chisel, taps it to her hand, and temporarily, the chisel turns into a gun. A small one, little coat pistol.
Do you attempt to hide that motion at all?
I think subtly, yes, but she's not going to like force it if he's got too high a perception, essentially. Should I make a deception roll or a stealth roll? Sleight of hand.
Nice. Yes, sleight of hand.
15. Not doing great today.
You don't know if he saw it or not, but he does not react.
Alright. She's got she pulls out the coat pistol and says, "Now, I know this looks bad." What? Now I know that sounds bad. Sorry, that was a dumb reference. Give me a second.
Dear God.
Dear God. She's going to roll. She's gonna basically pull the trigger. But it's only going to make a slight burst of essentially sparkles in the air. It's a different flavor from the last time it was. And as it falls over Van Zeeks. Jesus Christ.
He can't help you here.
He really cannot. That's 13 hit points back to Van Zeeks from whatever he had before.
He seems to be a lot more... He seems more well off than he was before, but if anything, he seems sore now.
She puts the pistol away in her skirt pocket, and it very quickly turns back into a wood chisel, but hidden away.
As you fully put it away, and your hands start to move out again, he rests a hand on your shoulder and squeezes a little bit, and says, "Are you one of them?"
Her expression blanks for a second. You're going to have to be more specific.
those things could do that too.
No. No. Mr. Barry, never. You can trust me.
I hope so.
Are you making an insight roll for him or no?
I suppose you'll have to find out.
Alright. Iris, listen. We should get you somewhere a little more comfortable, but I do have to ask you some questions.
Make a perception check.
Here we go. Da, 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 da. This is one of his inactive. That's 22.
You are so certain. Yes. You are so very certain that for a split second, he might have cracked a smirk.
Come on. And she leads him out of the alleyway, sort of. But not out of the alleyway fully, just like into a little different corner because he's definitely going to be noticed he broke out, but they'll have some time at least. Sorry, you're probably going to get in a little more trouble than it's worth, but... Listen. I may not be one of them, but I do know what they're about. Why are they here? Do you know?
No, I ran afoul of them some time ago.
You
And
want
they
to tell
haven't
me
been
how-
hounding me since.
Do you want to tell me how that happened? Though I'm not surprised.
One night I was visiting one of the people that I was... one of the witnesses, sorry.
Mm.
And it was just black for a moment.
Iris
then
furrows her brow.
I don't know what happened to get away, but I knew that if I didn't, I would die.
So it seems you were attacked out of nowhere, so to speak?
Yes.
Interesting. Now, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Out of character. The stuff I was studying over the year, does it mean I can determine whether, like, how much darkness versus light is in someone's heart?
It would take either Arcana or Nature, and you would have to know the person, which you do.
Let's Arcana that.
Alright.
Probably not.
You, for a 12, with a base of 4, you have the suspicion that even with how he seems to be less against help, that something happened, that something changed in him, but not enough to escape what darkness might still reside there. Not yet.
Alright. Which, I believe, that makes sense. He's still recovering from the everything TM.
Yes.
Mr. Barry, if... Well, I have a lot to catch you up on, considering I think you would be able to handle the information. But do you know anything about what happened to Susie?
I heard she died.
What?
Well, she disappeared one day. Someone much like her doppelganger showed up and was attacking people. I met her enough times to know that's not her. So I assume she's died. I can't find a body, though.
Iris's face has a very interesting mix of emotions on it. Can Van Zeeks roll an insight check for me?
I won't tell you what his modifier is, but I will roll it.
Okay.
I don't think he...
Yeah, he can't read that shit.
Nope. He's frazzled too.
Socially awkward man. But, listen. Okay. Can you tell me anything about this doppelganger you've met?
Different colored eyes from the judicial assistant. Different colored hair.
But no, silly. I mean, what was she like? What got you out of those encounters?
Standing my ground. She almost seemed to respect it. And let me go almost as if... And he seems to shudder for a moment in that way of someone fearing for their life. Of remembering something they don't want to. And then he says, she almost seemed as if she wanted to play.
Oh, goodness. Her face kind of crinkles. Right. Well, we'll talk after the trial then. If I can help you with that, I'll see what I can do. And she just gently, like, taps up to him. Do you want a hug?
No.
Okay. She gives him a gentle pat on the arm. Listen. Be safe, alright? You've caused so much trouble already. And she walks away.
Be safe is all you hear.
Okay, so I'm gonna put some notes down on Iris.
Alright.
Jesus.
Perish, I guess. I don't know.
Good lord. If anyone else wants to do things, it is probably a good time to do them while I zone the fuck out. Because I need to process this information.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, Tsubasa and Helia before I got deleted.
Yeah, so...
I didn't even hear you say Tsubasa and Helia.
The fucking jailbreak gif! Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
were so gone. It said no, they don't even get to hear you.
But yeah, Tsubasa and Helia, what are you currently trying to do?
Real quick, I
It
might
is-
dip out briefly. If you need me again, just ping me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peace.
I'm thinking, because I know Tsubasa would specifically go out and gather information, I just don't know what he would focus on. Because they've got the mission from the fucking king,
Right.
but that's also his friend. Having a friend in trouble.
Right. So, there are a couple of limited places you can go to as students. One of them is the schoolyard, which is a little ways up the way,
Yeah.
and it would pass through heavily trafficked areas. There is also a nearby cafe, a sort of tea shop / pastry shop that they've labeled a cafe.
Okay.
And there is a kind of outdoor fountain, like, greenhouse type of thing that is where people are mostly go to relax in between shifts. And as of right now, it is currently around, because we're going at parallel paces, it's around 7 in the morning now, as you guys wake up.
He'd probably go to the cafe to get some breakfast then. Because I'm assuming that he's not staying with Iris and,
No.
yeah.
So, is Helia tagging along?
Sure.
He definitely would invite Helia if he knows that she's awake. Just like, oh, hey, you want to go get some breakfast?
So there's 2 ways to enter the building, technically. There is the back entrance over here, which I don't think you would do as students. And then there's the front entranceway over here.
Oh man, let's go through the back way. That can't possibly go wrong. I'm joking. Tsubasa would go through the front.
Okay.
So we're free to just plop our tokens down?
Yep. If you can't move them, just let me know.
Okay.
Hey, Cherry. Ye old
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts.
No, please. Spare me.
No.
We are the only 4 that remember that. You can't do that.
No. There is a 5th person who remembers. He's not here right now.
Yeah.
Well, he's dying from work, so he can whatever.
You can enjoy this later.
Yeah. So, as you enter the cafe, it's not busy, per se, as it is becoming busy. There's a good number of tables that are empty, including the one in front of you. And you don't see anybody from your vantage point that is behind the counter. However, you do see an older woman, maybe in her 30s to 40s, right here, sitting and enjoying a cup of tea, along with a couple of scones. She does seem to have noticed you, because as you kind of recall, there is a bell on the door.
Yeah. So it's just a little ding ding.
Yep.
But yeah, no, Tsubasa's going to wander over to the counter. He's keeping an eye on the lady because why are you watching us like that?
She's people watching. That's why.
Listen, I made my boy paranoid on accident. So-
Gently struggle bats the paranoia.
From behind you, that woman, without moving, speaks up across the way and goes, "Miss Anne, could you take care of the new customers?" And there's a scramble of a much younger woman, maybe not even as old as you all, maybe 15 at eldest, scrambles out of her seat and heads over with a little curtsy as she stands up of just like, sorry, and goes to stand in front of you guys. "Hi, what can I get for you? Any tea blends you particularly want at this early hour?"
I'll be fine with whatever you guys have for a house blend.
And she smiles a little bit, and it's that kind of awkward smile of she's getting used to the polite talk, so you not doing so intrinsically, I guess, is helping her ease into it.
Ah.
She goes, well, that would be our jasmine tea. It's made here."
Oh. Yeah, I'd like that, actually. Helia?
Of course.
I think that sounds quite lovely as well.
All right. Well, have a seat wherever you'd like. I'll bring it out to you. And she scurries off with that same manner of gangliness that begets a teenager.
So where do you want to sit, Helia? Do you want to be in a corner, or...
Shrug of, I'm not picky.
Tsubasa eventually picks this one up here because it's out of the way. Just... Nope.
You do both see someone at the table who looks to have completely gone oblivious to the outside world around her, with messy, completely disheveled brown hair, kind of slightly hunched over books and tablets of writings, and she looks like a student just like you, or at least how you're presenting.
Can I perceive anything of what she was reading or writing?
With your 24?
Yes.
With your 24, as you passed by her, glancing in her direction just out of pure curiosity rather than paranoia, you did notice that she was writing something down about... They looked like spark notes, like shorthand spark notes of a Shakespearean play.
Okay.
Literature students.
I do not envy them. Wait, shit, what did I say Tsubasa was going to school for again? Language?
Art.
Art, okay. Yeah. Tsubasa just sits down, stares off into space for a moment, and then just sighs because it's just like, So we gotta find thing that we need to find. Trying very hard not to mention the king directly in public.
Oh yeah, I do that. Where that gets you.
That's not going to get us anywhere good.
Suffering.
Yeah, no, Tsubasa even glances towards the other people in the cafe before he's just like, the thing that we need to find. But...
Yep.
But now,
And then...
there's someone possibly afflicted?
whatever's going on with Iris's friend sounds... worse than that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Like they said, a complete 180 in their personality doesn't happen without, a lot.
Yeah, no. No, I get that. We would have to find out more information about the attack she's been doing, I guess. And see if we can find anything out.
Yeah, you do have to consider that we don't know how long, if we believe we can do something to help, how long it's going to take, and, we've only got a set amount of time.
They told us not to rush, though.
Yeah, not to rush the job, not other things we find out along the way.
Yeah. I'm not even sure where to start with looking for this thing.
I mean, Iris might have a clue.
And so we'll have to find her later.
It's not hard.
No,
She's
it's
got
not.
bright pink hair. It's not hard.
We also know exactly where she'll be going.
With your
There's-
passive perception of 24, you see that teenager walk out with 2 saucers with a cup on each of them, and look around for a moment in that manner of, I'm not used to this place yet. And then look directly at you.
Tsubasa's even going to do the little wave of, we're over here.
And then just be, oh, kind of look. And not skittering, but making her way easily. Yeah.
Skittering energy, though.
Yeah. And then
The
just
skittering vibes.
And as she approaches, she sets it down very gently with the energy of, do not spill it. Do not spill it.
Do not spill a drop.
Yeah. It's literally, she's getting used to not being gangly and more of a quote-unquote courtly lady. But it's very obvious that she is too young for that.
Yeah. Tsubasa is going to smile and just like, thank you.
And she curtsies. And you're very welcome. Is there anything else I can get you?
Something to eat for sure. Where my knowledge of pastries falters. You know what?
Helia.
What?
Can Helia help?
Helia can help, yes.
Helia would help, but I know precisely one pastry in this moment, and it's not helpful.
I know scone.
Same!
And I know I only know this because it was literally just mentioned. Insert Victorian English pastries here.
Are you telling me you don't have any clue about what a normal pastry?
I know they exist. I don't know the names for most of them.
Especially ones that would be ordered in the mornings for breakfast.
If I'm correct, out of character, sugar's pretty expensive, right?
In this day and age, yes.
Okay.
So that does cut out a lot of the sweet pastries.
There are substitutions that people have found over the years.
Yeah.
It's less expensive to use sugar. I'll say that much. If anything, it would say that you're of higher status, that you order something with sugar.
I think Tsubasa would just get the equivalent of a breakfast sandwich.
Helia?
I don't know.
Helia gets cereal.
I don't know what a breakfast pastry would be.
Technically, there is no such thing as a breakfast pastry because pastries are considered desserts.
Yeah.
Scones are the one thing in Victorian London that are like, you can have them at any point and nobody will look at you odd. There's like one instance where if you order a scone, people will look at you as if you scorned their entire family, but it's very rare.
You have to be talented.
Yeah. So you could just order a couple of scones and have it with your tea.
Sure.
And she nods and goes, It'll be a little while, is that alright?
Yeah, that's fine.
She bows her head and once again with skittering energy walks off.
Fucking skittering energy.
You know how someone is just like, I gotta be presentable, and as soon as you don't see them anymore, they're new.
Yeah.
Little gremlin energy.
Just like, I am human man. I have normal John.
So currently you have two, like, have you seen those, like, smaller sized teacups that are used specifically for ceremonial reasons and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's how, they're not terribly small, but they aren't like the normal teacup size.
They're
Just,
little.
just the kind of teacup you'd look at and just be like, oh.
Yeah. So you have enough to enjoy, but this is how people get to spend so much in cafes, apparently. Like, I actually did some research into this. Because most people make their own tea. So ordering out for tea is both a way to show status and basically saying that you have the money to spend on that sort of thing, which I think is the unintentional part of you guys went to a cafe and in the early morning, which is normally workers' hours, not student hours.
We're early risers, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. But it is calm and quiet in this cafe, even as 7 turns to 7:30 to 8 to 8:15. And it was already 7:30 when you got your drinks, when you got your tea. And you know from experience, from having baked before, you're probably going to be here for fresh scones and fresh pastries at least another 15 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
So there is a literature student directly across from you, and there is a woman who seems to be the owner. Literally in the other room.
So it's just a question of, what do we do now? Like, I'm genuinely trying to think of which one he would go to first. Because if there were more people, Tsubasa would be listening for any rumors that could be a hint or a clue, but I don't think that's going to happen. Not unless he can read what's being written by the student.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. It's fucking 16.
I'd say you'd have to get a little closer, or at least go up to her to see what she's writing. But it does look as if she's taking notes on something. And at this distance, she does look exhausted.
Yeah, no, after a little bit, Tsubasa is going to get up and wander over and just straight up, hey, are you okay?
Yes. I'm alright. Just have to finish this paper. It's due tomorrow.
I mean, fair, but you look like you're about to fall over.
And who are you to accost me in such a manner?
No one in particular, just... You look exhausted. He is also trying to take a peek at the papers.
So, with your passive perception of 24, as you're talking to her and she seems reluctant to talk at the very least, it's not what she's writing that catches you off guard. It's her shadow. Namely, a shadow. There's eyes in those shadows.
Yeah, no, he's not going wouldn't be able to help but stare for a few moments. Just like, what? And then he's just going to slowly glance over at her as well, just like, are you aware of that, or... Like, he doesn't say that out loud, he's just slowly looks over at her.
And she looks back with that expression that is so tired. Do you see the Hat Man too?
I'm sorry, the what?
He just killed my girlfriend.
You really fucking did.
What's even worse? Is my brain's instinctual reaction to that was, have you heard the Dirt Man song that's been going around?
Oh my god.
That, but Hat Man. That's all my brain provided to me in that moment.
This is the worst for this.
What are you talking about? This is the best.
But she does give you the look of... She might actually recognize what's there, but not in the way you think she does. And she goes, you see it too, do you?
The eyes? Yes.
The Shadow Man, yes.
Okay, so you're where, and he just gestures to the Shadow Man.
The moment she turns to look at her shadow behind her, the eyes close, and she's like, yes. The Shadow Man does not wish to be seen at this moment. It is too early in the morning.
Wait, he's sleeping in the Tsubasa's going to be giving that shadow a very good look. Do I need to roll like Arcana or something?
Roll nature.
Roll nature, okay. That's a fucking 22.
So it's definitely a heartless. You don't know why it's there, but it's a heartless.
Has it ever done anything?
The Shadow Man has a fascination with lefts. I have no left gloves.
That is a very interesting thing to be focused on.
I am killing Tala.
You really fucking are. You're killing Tsubasa only from the confusion, just like... I was expecting this to be a bit more normal conversation. So far it's gone all the way to the left and then back again to go to the right.
We did a loop-de-loop.
What about her socks? Does she have any left socks?
No, they're both right. She's alright.
I'm out. I saw it coming too. It was like watching the fucking meteor as I'm a dinosaur at ground zero. We probably should stop. We're absolutely murdering your girlfriend.
But you loved me.
I do. Trust me. If I didn't, I would just outright kill you.
So how...
I'm an archer. I can get you from this distance.
I can get you from an entire country away.
Have you met a longbowman?
We are both pretty close to the border. It could be possible.
Okay, fair. That is fair. I digress. We probably should get the train back on the tracks.
Okay. Train. Tracks. Choo-choo.
But yeah, no, Tsubasa just... So the Shadow Man hasn't done anything beyond stealing your left gloves and socks, I'm assuming?
No, not at all.
Can he talk?
I never asked. I'll have to ask him tonight.
Okay, 'cause... He's doing the desperate gesture of, I'm familiar with these things, but I don't know how to explain it to her without sounding crazy. Just after a bit, just... I'm actually somewhat familiar with what the Shadow Man is.
Anyway.
What? Hold up, what'd I miss? Oh, okay.
Jareth, that's what you missed.
No, my brain went like, okay, it's not a canon thing. This is not what she says. But my brain went, oh, she's going to respond with, you have shadow hoodoo. And then just like, voodoo? Hoodoo.
You do.
Voodoo?
Do what?
Mommy and the babe. Okay. Okay.
But he does respond with, you are acting a bit strange. You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm an exchange student.
Ah, makes sense.
It's not entirely wrong!
It was her just... Yeah, that tracks energy.
No, it's worse. I did it with the full Bethesda turn away.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
It must have been the wind.
Tsubasa, still staring at the hat man.
She, like, in a very serious sense, she heard you're an exchange student and kind of turned back to what she was doing because she looked like she was dozing off talking to you.
Yeah.
Sleepy.
I can just imagine Tsubasa gesturing to the Shadow Man just like, hey, okay, so you're attached to her, so you should take care of her.
It pop cats at you.
Okay, wow. Alright then.
Just
Fucking Tsubasa pop cat's back, I guess. I don't know. He's startled by a heartless pop catting at him, so he just does it back. And that's sort of like, well, no, fuck you too. Ah! Now that Tsubasa is closer, can you actually get a closer look at the... is there anything actually interesting about the papers, or was it just fucking Shadow Man, like, hello?
it really does seem like she's working on the spark notes of a Shakespearean play.
Okay, so, yeah, Tsubasa is going to wander back over to the table with Helia. And after a moment's pause, just look over at her. And in the most hushed whisper he can muster, she's got a heartless.
The faraway look of someone who is so tired. Does it do anything?
Apparently it steals all of her left things. But she says it hasn't actually done anything to anyone, so...
It's just stealing all of her lefts.
Yeah. According to
Okay.
her, she has no left gloves.
Okay.
Tsubasa does
Yeah,
pause
this
for a
might as
moment.
well happen.
Tsubasa does take a moment to look over to see if she is wearing any gloves.
She's wearing one right glove.
Incredible.
The Heartless also popped at me.
Okay. And?
I just thought it was rude.
Same energy of he's touching me.
Tsubasa just, well, I thought it was rude.
You thought...
Look, it's early in the morning, Helia. Please don't question it.
I'm questioning
No.
you. Are you okay?
Debatable?
Yeah, that's fair.
And skittering back over as this is all calming down is that girl again, who is carrying 2 small plates with powdered scones on it.
Just,
Like, I kind of messed up the first batch, sorry. But these are fresh, and sorry. And she places them down and tries to skitter away.
Tsubasa's just like, you're fine. As he is staring at her shadow now, too.
Seems like a normal shadow.
Just that, I gotta be sure.
Starts looking at own shadow.
No. Fucking just, does my shadow have a Heartless in it?
What do you guys do?
Sit there in confusion. I don't know.
So you guys can technically enjoy your breakfast. As yeah. Because technically you did find out a thing.
We did, yeah. Found out there's a Heartless over there.
Just a, a docile heartless pop-catting at you.
Yeah.
Stealing left.
It's worse than Zippy. And Zippy's not bad.
No, this is just an annoying little demon, so... The little goblin gremlin.
Little guy.
Tsubasa and the Heartless occasionally exchanging glances, and the Heartless just pop cats at him again.
Yeah. So, Arthur,
Yeah.
where do you head to out of the places that you were given to from Iris?
I decided to go east.
To the east end?
Yeah, and if he happens to hear anything interesting along the way, he will diverge path.
So, as you walk through the city streets and head towards the east end, it takes you a little bit to register that though it's called the east end, it's more along the lines of the southeast end. Which is very funny, contextually speaking, as it kind of makes you try not to laugh immediately in public, as it's called the East End because normally people are begrudgingly woken up by the sun over here. But by the time you get there, the sun is not fully risen and the street lights are still on. The gas lights are still on. And it is eerily calm. There's very few people on the streets, and even then, they're hushed to themselves. I'm actually putting you on a board right now. So, as you start to head down the East End streets, it is getting progressively somehow isolated darker. Like it's not. Roll insight.
Okay.
As far as you can tell with a 13, it doesn't feel normal, but it doesn't feel supernatural either, in the same way that you'd run afoul Heartless, at the very least. You're not sure if it could be related to Gloom.
You said this was where this. Yeah, that's where the sun rises. And it's darker than it should be.
Yes.
Yeah, that is very odd.
Yeah.
So we'll continue on his way down the road.
As you walk down the center path, marred with carriages that have been either left abandoned for some reason or for troughs of water towards the side, as you look around one of them in the middle of the street and see that there's a place for pets and horses to gather some drinking water. And you hear from behind you as you skirt on past the carriage, "I wouldn't do that if I were you. Bad news over here."
Turns around.
And you see a person that looks around your age, if a little younger, seated up against the back of this carriage where a horse would normally be taken front, but is this smaller person, definitely around 5'6", 5'5", just dressed in almost a newsboy outfit, though patchwork and rough and tumble. It looks, for all intents and purposes, patched together, with shoes that are the only new thing about his attire. He goes, "Well, you're in the wrong place if you're looking for something to eat. All we've got is fish and chips." And he kind of smirks.
No, I'm just walking around.
"Oh, why? Walking around?"
Not a real aim to it.
And he pushes off the carriage and stuffs his hands in his pockets. And you see that it makes a crinkling sound even at this distance. Like, "Well, the vigilante of the East End is out and about. I wouldn't do that if I were you."
Vigilante?
"Indeed. No one knows who they are, and oftentimes they're masked."
Have you ever encountered this person?
"Not in the slightest. I'm normally up about when the sun's about. But I haven't been able to sleep much recently."
Pardon me if this is too personal. But you brought it up, so why am I why the problem sleeping?
"Clock's all messed up. No knockers come around here anymore."
I guess it would have something to do with the vigilante.
"You'd think, but they used to come around here when they were up and about before." "I think it has something to do with those shadows.
Shadows?
But hey, yeah. Some shadows like to get on two legs, walk out of other people's shadows, and rip them into it. Or so the tale goes."
That sounds so crazy.
And you see him look over to his left, your right. And he goes, Maria, didn't that happen to you? And as you presumably turn to face that direction, there is a woman, kind of older, with long matching brown hair to this boy. And she seems either around your age or a little older. He goes, yeah, that's about how it goes, yes. Are you sure you should be talking to someone who's never been seen around here? So? What's it gonna do, kill me? They can try. And then there's just a sigh from the woman, who doesn't move from her spot.
So about that shadow encounter,
Yes, what do you want to know about it? It was harrowing.
well, I mean, it's a shadow shadow moving on its own seems so... What's the word? This is something he says.
Insane?
Yeah. So out of this world.
Maybe so. But it happened. Everyone calls me crazy now for it whenever I talk about it. I don't really bring it up anymore. I have a workplace that I need to attend to. Though infrequent the customers are now.
Fair enough, you gotta eat.
And that boy, like, rolls his eyes. You see it out of the corner of your eyes of just the incessant, like, ugh. I think it's cool. I'd go toe-to-toe, fist-to-fist with those things. Come the hero of the day. Be rewarded with so many shillings. Do you think I could take him? Looking directly at you, Arthur.
Sizes him up.
It's not scrawny, but it's definitely on the edge of, it probably only eats 1 or 2 meals a day,
Mhm.
at best.
He'll be generous and be like, eh.
He makes a gesture of, like, patting his bicep and flexing, and there's a little bit of muscle from where it looks like he's actively trying to seem strong. Like, I could take him. I could take him. I'd be the hero. Not this vigilante.
Could you also take a pretty big animal that's like twice your size?
I could, if I wanted to.
Of course.
And then there is a shh. Hold on. I think I heard something. From the woman. And that boy, surprising or not surprising to his form, goes to hide behind the carriage again.
A perception to hear what they heard.
Go ahead. You hear around the corner to your... behind you and to your right as you're facing the woman. So, over here. You hear the shuffling, shambling sounds of something crawling its way out of the street.
You'll
Out of the street.
go here and peek the corner.
You see an weirdly unsettling sight, even for you. As there's, in a way that should have been seen by the other woman, you swear, like, it's one of those things of, she should have seen everything there. But then you realize the reason why she didn't is because she can't fully see them. You can.
Oh no.
However, as you look around and peek around the end, you see a couple of things. One, a shambling, almost corpse-like entity made of shadow and tar and liquefied darkness. And it doesn't seem to be moving anywhere close to the gas lamp lights, which seem to be the isolated forms of safe haven, almost. And then there is the snarling, quiet barking of something that looks vaguely dog-like, vaguely hound-like, off to the side, closer to the buildings. And then from around the bend, there is a serpentine-like, draconic beast that is looking and surveying and watching. And in the middle, there is a woman with black to red hair, pale skin, dressed in monk's vestiges, with hints of Japanese Orient in her attire, wielding a kind of almost a gauntlet of some kind. And she's not quite facing you, and you don't know if she has noticed you yet. Until you hear a voice in your head. You're not from here, are you? And that's where we're cut. If you're okay with it, guys.
I'm okay with it.
Alright. I think that's where we're cut for today.
You did that right as the fucking music changed. Like,
Mhm.
cutting it. The timing was perfect, but at the same time, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So
Let me
I'm
know when
guessing,
you're done.